Good afternoon, good evening, or good morning, wherever in the world you are tuning into the Esports World Cup Central broadcast from. We are back in the hot seat, and today is a bit of an interview extravaganza as I have another guest joining me on the sofa. This is a good personal friend and somebody who I've recently just started collaborating with a few times in the past couple of months. You may have just seen that trailer a second ago for the Esports Awards that is happening live from right here in Riyadh tomorrow evening, Saturday, the 24th of August. Michael Ashford, welcome to the broadcast. Hello, how are you doing?
Thank you for the warm welcome. Always appreciate it. I am doing very, very well. How about yourself?
I'm very good. I'm very good. I mentioned it just before we went on air. You're looking lovely and tanned, my friend.
I am, yeah. I've been working on the tan.
You can tell that I've been in the sun for 8 weeks, right? Yeah, I still reflect the sunlight. Look at that. Awful.
You know, there's some games you'd beat me at. I think I'm winning on tan.
There's no doubt about that. It's probably all the golf, I think. That's helping a little bit.
No comment.
Michael, let's talk a little bit about the Esports Awards. I had the honor of being nominated several years ago. Was very well treated when I traveled out to London. What's happening? What time does it start? Let's just get the people informed and then talk about the activities.
Yeah, I mean, it's big, right? We're super excited for everything we're doing out here. So it's the biggest night in esports, is how we like to phrase it. And we're set on the backdrop of the closing ceremony, right, of the whole Esports World Cup. So I have personally been dubbing it the biggest weekend in esports. You've got the Esports Awards happening tomorrow night, live from 8 p.m. on the red carpet, and with the main ceremony going live at 10 p.m. It's a big one.
It is going to be big.
It is. It's huge. And then that's one facet, right? We also have the new Global Sport Conference. We have the closing ceremony itself. Performers like Steve Aoki and Kid Cudi.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, what's not to love?
I mean, it's going to be a weekend of festivities because not only are we concluding the EWC, as you mentioned, the awards on Saturday night, the closing ceremony is going to be huge on Sunday. And as if by magic, we just heard some music starting outside. We are at an esports festival, after all. Let's talk about the fact that the Esports Awards is split into two shows. You know, we announced this not too long ago. First portion taking place tomorrow night. What are some of the awards that we're going to be seeing? What are some of the names that are going to be out there? I know the Esports Awards social media has been flooding our feed with tantalizing tidbits for guests.
Yeah, apologies for the spam. It's for a good cause.
I said you were flooding, not spamming.
Yeah. Look, we believe in recognizing people, and that means we will grandstand and make sure their message and their achievements are acknowledged by any means possible. There is a ton of incredible award categories coming to you live from Riyadh tomorrow night. The most notable, or the one most contested, is usually the Streamer of the Year, right? We've had some huge winners. Last year it was Rivers GG, we've had eBay, and a whole host of others that have been with us competing for that title.
Do you ever say on camera who you want to win as a human
Absolutely
being
not.
and a fan?
As the CEO of the Esports Awards, I have no bias whatsoever.
You are a liar and a thief. I know that for sure. I will absolutely show all of my fandom. I want Cadril to win. That's who I have voted for. That's who I am going to bat for. Let's talk about the festivities as well. I know the show's actually going to be broken into several chunks. I had the pleasure of learning a little bit about some of those tidbits. Can you give us the little breakdown of how it's going to play out?
It's still a little bit under wraps.
Okay.
There's still some surprises to come this year.
That's why I'm checking.
It's all exciting, but I think focusing on Riyadh, there's some surprises to come. We're still keeping things up our sleeve, but I think when you put the sword in the ground, to speak, with the hosting lineup that we've got and the caliber of people, notably Optic Scump and Hex coming in to carry the show a little bit, you know, bring in the green wall, bring in the fans, and have some fun with it.
Out of interest, I know you've had the chance to actually speak to some of the guys, from Optic. How do they feel about FaZe winning Call of Duty,
I mean, they are competitive people, right?
Yeah.
They are there.
Are they heartbroken?
To compete.
Would that be good to know, just in case I have to speak to any of them?
I don't know, you have to get the inside scoop from them. You have to get the inside scoop. I know they'll take a rematch anytime.
Yeah, that's going to be the case. Have to be the next Esports World Cup, or at least the next major. Now, I'm being told by my producers that your child has done a photo shoot with the awards, or what's the story with this?
That's my boy. So he was born in 2020 during COVID. And he was a little bit poorly.
Sorry to interrupt, but can I tell you, it's not fair. The rest of us have to work so hard to get those, and he's got the entire kit already.
He does.
Yes.
He does. Actually, there's a little bit of an Easter egg with this as well. A little bit naughty, so apologies to our production crew. Every year we do this show, I sneak his name into the credits. So he's probably the most credited 4-year-old on the planet on IMDb.
That is amazing.
Yeah, he was born in 2020. First year we did the show during lockdown. I literally produced it from my 1 meter by 1 meter office above where he was. So he was down in the lounge. My wife took a picture of him with an Esports Awards hat, and this became her tradition that every year she sort of stages a photo shoot with him with the trophy. And yeah, he's been growing up on the Esports Awards. So
That's amazing.
every year she sort of builds a little montage, and yeah, it's an emotional piece.
Have you taken him yet to a live show? When will you do? When will you do? I know he's still very young, but at what point do you get to bring him out that he can actually give the award over to, I don't know, most wholesome content creator or something like that?
Well, I hope at some point he's winning awards. I mean, he's got to be my retirement package. Right? I got to get a controller in his hand. He's got to be playing well. Like that's the fund.
Okay. Well, listen. Obviously, the show will be kicking off tomorrow night here from EWC. Let's zoom out. I know you and I have spoken a little bit. You've been in and out of Riyadh over the last couple of months. What do you think of the festivities? What do you think of the entire tournament? Being kind of one step removed, I imagine you're not as in depth with the nitty gritty of the actual event, but it is very special being part of it.
It is. I mean, it's huge. And I think I was always a fan first, right? Like, I lucked into esports in a way. I was on an amateur League of Legends team. We weren't doing great. I was basically getting carried by my brother, if I'm very honest. And I didn't know if there was a role for me in the industry. I had a very chance business meeting back in 2016 when I was still attending LANs, paying to go to tournaments, watching the game, when I got the chance to do this, right? So coming out to the first ever dedicated World Cup in esports is surreal. And when we got pitched the idea that we might get to play a small part in it, it was the stuff of dreams, right? Like, it doesn't happen very often, if in lifetimes at all. So the first time I got to come out here, we were shown foundations and we were told, don't worry, 4 to 6 weeks, these foundations are going to be a stadium. And I said, I'm sure they will. And then we flew back out, and surely 4 to 6 weeks later, they were stadiums. And then every time you come out, you can see there's another part of the experience that's been curated.
I mean, that's something that I've heard several times. I've had the pleasure of speaking to club owners very recently as well, like Porsche Kawanda from ESL One, and they talk about the fact that they were here for Gamers 8 and the development. I mean, these sound stages were not here several months ago, right? It's huge investment, it's huge development. I think it's very exciting to be part of it and to play a small part in this giant puzzle. I think we are nearly at the end of our conversation. So what are the last few bits that the Esports Awards and maybe CEO hat would be needing to wrap up here? Because we talked about the show. We've got some special guests coming in a minute or two to talk more about the actual content in the award show tomorrow. But I guess, thanks, shout-outs or anything else you'd love to say?
Yeah, I mean, I have a lifetime of thank yous to give to a lot of people. But I think firstly, His Royal Highness, Prince Faisal, for believing in the vision of what we want to do in the industry and enabling us to do it, and then Ralph and Hans for following through to make it a possibility for us. We're having a lot of fun building this. We hope to do the whole industry justice tomorrow night, starting from 8 p.m. You can catch us on all major platforms, right? Twitch, YouTube, X will be there, and we're just gonna have a lot of fun with it.
Now, I know you're not going to give me your personal preferences for who'd win, and you shouldn't, but which category do you think is the most fun to watch, and you're not allowed to say streamer of the year?
I like them all. I know it's a thing, but like for me, it's always tough, right? Because you have one winner in each category, and you have so many people that don't quite make it, and you see all of their stories.
So you're telling me you love the heartbreak? No.
I love celebrating the winners, but I'm also the least popular man on awards night, right? Because you have 16 winners tomorrow, and you have everyone that didn't quite make it. So we have our finalist coins, right?
I mean, I will tell you this right now, as somebody that's been nominated once and has been nominated again, I also dislike that feeling. However, I totally appreciate it, and I'm hoping we get to do more of these interviews, because I'm going to make it a thing. I'm going to get you to slip up one day and tell me which category you
Definitely.
like.
I say I'm very excited to see Personality of the Year tomorrow night. I'm very excited to see a few of the game style awards. I think it's been a very good year for esports. So I'm looking forward to having a sold out room and putting on a tux, right?
I mean, it's going to be fantastic. I'm unfortunately going to be live on broadcast here until the very moment that you start, so maybe I'll sneak in at the end.
I'm expecting some plugs.
We'll try. Listen, that's why you're here, my friend. But yes, as soon as we wrap up, I'll make sure I send people over to your stream. Michael, thank you so much for taking the time to chat. I wish you the best luck with tomorrow's awards ceremony, and make sure you help Kadril. Right, we're going to move on very quickly. Oh, man, I've been here so long, I always forget this bit. We've got this very exclusive t-shirt that we'll be giving away to our viewers and our followers. We've got the week, we got all of our guests, so everybody that sits on the sofa that gets interviewed joins the illustrious t-shirt. So on your way out, I'm going to ask you to sign this.
Perfect. I was going to say live on broadcast with my handwriting. That's not good.
The only person that I think we got to do is Wesley Sneijder, a Dutch footballer. So apparently he's a big
I don't play football as well as him, but
it's called soccer where I'm from. Anyways, we're going to move on with the show. We're actually going to head over to chat to Dara and a little bit more about what's happening in ESL R1.
Yes, so